So a couple of years ago, I did a video on this HP pre-built that had a 4600G in it. Now, this thing has been through a couple different videos, a couple different iterations. I've done a little bit of upgrade. After it was very difficult to upgrade, we've managed to upgrade the BIOS. We put more memory in it. Focus, there we go. Bigger power supply. Done quite a few things to try to make this thing a little bit better than it started out. It wasn't very easy because, well, first of all, it's an HP. It's a pre-built. The BIOS is messed up. There's a lot of little things that did not make it very friendly to upgrade. So I got to thinking, and you know what happens when I start thinking, right? Bad things. Now, there are a number of issues with this pairing. First of all, this is a 9060 XT. It's the 8 gig version. It's a PCIe 5.0. This is an old HP Pavilion, not old, but older, with a 4600G, which is PCIe 3.0, which means that not only is this a much slower bus speed, but this is expecting a bus speed of 4 times the size. Now, the good thing is, I believe this is by 16 or by 8. I think it's a by 8. So it should work well. We're going to lose some performance, but we'll be able to check it out. One of the other things is this is recommended to have at least a 450 watt power supply. This only has a 400 watt power supply, and that's after we upgraded it. It does have 3200 megatransfers per second memory. I think it's 32 gig. It might be 16. I don't remember what it's back to right now, but we'll find out when we get into it. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of upgrading we could do to this. We are going to try this and see what happens. But hey, we shouldn't be doing it. And that's exactly the reason we're going to. I've made a couple of modifications along the way. One of them being this not to a fan that I've got helping the air intake because it can't get it from the solid front. So it has to get it in from somewhere. There's a grill on the side that we can use. And the 400 watt aforementioned power supply. The good thing about this power supply, it is an 80 plus platinum, so we should be able to get a pretty good amount of power cleanly through it, and should be enough for our graphics card, which does look like you'll have enough room. I don't think we'll have any issues there. Obviously, you can see that we've got an NVMe in there. 2 slots was all the memory available. There's only 2 slots. We've got those full. We're going to go ahead and do 2 things. And it's not to compare which is better, because we know a video card will be better than the graphics and the 4600G, but I want to see a before and after. And I'm just kind of curious how the 9600 XT is going to work in this old HP. So I'm sure you'll know that this already has a little bit of a predictable outcome. We're going to go ahead and show this a 12400 on DDR4. We tested this not too long ago with the 9060 XT. We're going to go ahead and do that. Check that same setup against this 4600G. Now, I wanted to find something that was similar. So it's DDR4, it's going to be 16 gig. We're going to set it up the same way and test that. What we're mainly looking at is the PCIe Gen 5 compared to the Gen 3, which is available on that Ryzen. Now, is it a bad thing, or am I comparing these 2 CPUs against each other? No, I'm just trying to see if it's worth it to try to upgrade and put a new GPU into something that's now like 4 or 5 years old. Probably even older than that, I believe. I think it's, it's working on 6 years old at least. Anyway, this is what we're going to look at. So one note, I'm going to end up dropping Shadow of the Tomb Raider for my benchmarks, because not only did I get a weird, not able to read the profile, but I got that on every single, everything that I tried. Now, I'd already tried the 12400 about 2 weeks ago and it worked. But now, nothing. I'm not getting, I can't get it to read a profile, and that's on this machine, it's on that machine, it's on the 12400. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm going to end up dropping that from my benchmarks, and eventually I'll replace Borderlands 3 with Borderlands 4, but for the time being, let's look at the numbers and we'll talk a little bit about it.
And as you can see, it absolutely does make a difference. Sometimes just a little bit, sometimes by quite a bit. And sometimes weirdly, I don't want to say it's, well, we'll just say that it's not that big of a deal, but it's probably not a very good idea to put a brand new GPU into an older computer, especially like this pre-built HP, and expect it to work fine. Now, I was a little bit worried because I only had a 400 watt power supply in this HP, but I did then remember that the CPU is only a 65 watt CPU, and at the most, this graphics card pulled about 120 watts. Plenty of headroom. I could have run this a little bit harder if I wanted to. I chose not to. I just did 1080p and 1440. I didn't go any crazy, try any crazy configurations or try to put a lot of ray tracing or anything like that on. Just straight up. And so you can see that, this was not a great idea. Is it practical? Some people out there are going to try to make an older computer work better with a brand new graphics card. And they're leaving a lot on the table. But it might be worth it to do that if you're going to eventually replace your platform. You got the money for a GPU now that you've saved up. You're saving up the money for the rest of it. However that ends up working out, maybe that is an option. This isn't going to harm it. It's not going to hurt it. You still will get better performance than you would have on the 4600G by itself. But it's not definitely not the preferred method. Speaking of that APU, that 4600G, we were lucky in any case to get 30 frames per second. It just, and some games, Monster Hunter Wilds would not run at all on that older architecture. So even though the architecture is not that old, some of the brand new games struggle mightily with it. I believe at one point Marvel Rivals was getting 8 frames per second. Yeah, not very good. So this is not a machine as it stands. That CPU is not going to be strong enough to try to do on its own. Now, for what it is, office and light productivity, the web, maybe even put a 1660 Super in there and play some games. Absolutely, it'll work. It'll do great. You can probably we've gotten away with putting an RTX 3050 in there, and it's been okay. But this PCIe 5, this RX 9060 XT, now that's not that's not doing you any favors. It's not going to do any good. So that's what it is. I was kind of curious. It's like, hey, I've got this. I haven't looked back at this HP in a while. Did we make any progress from the very, very first time we tried to upgrade this thing? And I remember a couple years back when we were trying to do that, how much of a pain in the tail HP made it to try to do this. One quick thing, yes, the BIOS is recent, but Black Ops 7 still says the BIOS is not updated enough. It's not the correct BIOS, even though it's a BIOS from January of this year. So they're still updating, HP is still updating the BIOS, but it's still not good enough to play some of these games. Now, I was able to get some benchmarks from it, but it says that in the future that's going to be deprecated and you won't be able to play the game because the BIOS is not upgraded for the standards for the secure boot or whatever. So anyway, just that's a note. So that's another reason why some of these machines, even though they're Windows 11 compatible, even though you've got updated BIOS, some of these games are getting where you just won't be able to play them. Anyway, that is all I have. I wanted to see just what would happen. Hey, I had the card, I had the machine, wanted to see what was going on, and it's about what I thought it'd be. And so now you know too. Anyway, if you've got anything out of the video, go ahead and throw a like on it. I'd appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed, please do. That would be great. Trying to get to 2 and then 3 and then so on. And let's put you something to a couple thousands and make something out of this. That'd be amazing, and I'd be very appreciative. Don't forget to visit the other socials. I'm back to streaming again on that Purple channel a little bit more regularly and posting some highlights occasionally on the other channel, the gaming channel. And but if you don't do any of that stuff, if you don't like, subscribe, or hit any of the socials or anything, please just do me one favor, and let's be good to each other. Smile, wave, hold the door open, say good morning, something, anything. You might find that it makes somebody's day a little bit better. And it might even make your day a little bit better, So go out there and get him, Tiger. Anyway, that is all I've got. So until I get myself into something I got no business getting into, which I thought was going to be that Optiplex was a 6500, and it turns out I cannot put a 7700 in that same motherboard. Anyway, we'll find other things to get in trouble with. So until that happens, that's all I got, and I'll see you later.